Appropriate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have before us today House Bill 18, which relates to post-traumatic...
In the House of Representatives.
Oh, I so apologize. If I might, I'm such a rookie here after 9 years. If I might get unanimous consent to dispense with further reading of the bill.
Unanimous consent has been requested. Is there objection? The lady has the floor.
Well, it's a great bill. You would have enjoyed hearing all of it, I assure you. But this bill is brought to us by our first responders, including our members of the Professional Firefighters of Idaho, who have joined us today in the gallery, and our Fraternal Order of Police. This is a follow-on bill to legislation that was passed in 2019, which provided that post-traumatic stress injuries incurred on the job would be covered under workers' compensation for our first responders, which includes police, fire, EMS, and dispatch folks. At the time, it was set with a sunset so that it would end in July of this year, just make sure that the costs wouldn't get out of hand. So give us a few years to see what the costs were going to be. We now have the benefit of, I think, 42 months of it being on the books, and I'm happy to report the costs have been very low. But the benefits have been very high. And there are several folks in the ranks of our first responders who would tell you that they are alive today only because their post-traumatic stress injuries were treated and recovered thanks to that legislation we passed in 2019. This bill is very simple. It would simply remove that sunset and just mean that we would have ongoing coverage for these post-traumatic stress injuries for our first responders who encounter terrible and unimaginable things in their line of work. This is a really critical treatment for them, really critical coverage. And if I might just briefly yield the remainder of my time to my co-sponsor, the good gentleman from 20.
Gentleman from 20 yield.
Gentleman yields.
Gentleman has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, this is a terrific bill. It's helped so many, and like the good lady said, workers' comp has not increased, and this bill will only allow for the fire guys and law enforcement and EMS to get the vital help they need. I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Heard the motion. Is there further debate? Good lady from 18.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To declare Rule 80.
The good lady is declaring a conflict under Rule 80. We've noted in the journal. Is there further debate? Good gentleman from 10.
Mr. Speaker, I need to declare Rule 80.
Gentleman from 10 has declared Rule 80. Possible conflict. Further debate? Hearing none. Good gentleman from 14.
I had to make a comment about this. This is something near to my heart. But the military really focuses, really focuses on PTSD, and they really pay a lot of attention to it. And I got into this business to kind of understand the firemen really take a lot of stress, and I don't think we're coming in close to covering like we do in the military. And I just want to advocate that for the future. I don't even think we're near where we need to be, where these folks are, and the stresses and the sacrifices they make. And I've seen it personally with someone who helped my daughter in an accident. He still has problems to this day, just from what he dealt with my daughter in her accident. So I have a lot of skin in this game. I just want to kind of reiterate that, as I want to support this in the future. I hope we go even farther with this. I think it's a really vital thing to do. Thank you, sir.
Hey, good gentlemen, is there further debate? Hearing none, debate is closed. Being no negative debate, the question is, shall House Bill 18 pass the House? Clerk will unlock the machine and members will record their votes. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Clerk will lock the machine and record the roll. 69 ayes, 1 absent and excused, majority having voted in favor of House Bill 18. House Bill 18 has passed the House. Is there correction to title?
No correction to title.
Hearing none, the title is approved. The bill will be transmitted to the Senate.